Okay, so today I'm looking at the secure form that people have been completing to enable them to have email access to our system. Now, there are two particular form applications I want to look at today. Now, one is this one on the 10th of April, IP address 212.62.821, and the other one is this one, 4th of April, with 193.129.103.99, okay? Very interesting IP address, I'll tell you why later. So, first of all, if we look at the 212 IP, it belongs to Eversheds, as is to be expected, because it was Eversheds who completed the form. So, if we look at, say, the 10th of April, and bring up the information for that, yes, we see Sharina Atwal of Eversheds, that's her mobile number I think, completing the form. Okay, no problem there. Now, if we look at the other IP, so that we're talking the 4th of April, the 193, so this was also Sharina Atwal because this is the first request that she made, the first request Eversheds made. So when we look at this, there we see her details again, Sharina Atwal, Eversheds Sutherland this time with a different number. I think that's the main number or something. And the reason is in order to provide an email response to JDS. Okay, so she has successfully completed the form. The problem is the IP address is not Eversheds' IP address. It is a third-party IP address. It's this block here. It's Birmingham block. And I know this 193.129.103.99. I'll tell you why in a second. And just as another example, word example, we've got 185.49.233.126 on the 21st of April, and that's Mishkon Derea. I think Mishkon spelled wrong there. Actually, I've been making that mistake on email, putting a C there. So obviously it works. Now, the problem with this IP address is this, 193.129.103.99. Even though Eversheds are purporting to have completed the form, they didn't actually complete the form. This IP address is actually linked to a multi-million-dollar fraud, and the Melbourne fraudsters obviously, and the destruction of evidence. So the article is obviously here, this is the URL on LinkedIn. But to cut a long story short, I had a Sri Lankan guy working for me called JV Lasanta Priyadarshana, right? And he stole some extremely valuable patents, various evidence for judicial proceedings, and defences and counterclaims and calculations and all kinds of stuff like that. He actually stole it. Now, I gave him a secret URL which was contained in an email. It had a number of links, okay? Now, only two other people apart from me within Rhodium knew of the secret URL, and it was designed to exclusively track the flow of information. Okay? Now, the Melbourne fraudsters, within a couple of hours, accessed the secret URL. The URL was the brown puppy, and they used Hide My Ass, and it's registered to David Brown's Gmail account. We have the forensic evidence. After that, Rag, Lawrence and Graham have accessed that secret URL, the brown puppy, and the IP is 193.129.103.99. The interesting thing here is this, 193.129.103.99. So the brown puppy relates to David Brown. About Margaret relates to Margaret Cunniff. So actually both Melbourne fraudsters are actually identified there. Then they've accessed it again. Litigate is Rhodium's litigation. Same IP, same postcode, B32AS. Accessed it a few times, exactly the same IP address, dead giveaway. then from 23rd of October 2014 onwards, that's before the theft of data, they're accessing my website with the same IP address, jsrds.com. And a couple more there, 30th of October, etc., etc. So really, it's not difficult to work out that, I've given a secret URL to a criminal. The criminal has given it to the Melbourne fraudsters. The Melbourne fraudsters have given it to Rag, Lawrence and Graham. And when I've been dealing with Eversheds, they were messing about ridiculously in the last few calls and just basically lying through their teeth. And they have also posted with that IP address, which inextricably links them to the multi-million-dollar destruction of evidence and the whole fraud here, plus all the parallel constructions and everything else. So it's really not difficult to get a Norwich Pharmacal order, and it's actually not difficult at all to tell the Serious Fraud Office, which I will do this week. So really, I think the only thing I can say to Eversheds is your ass is mine.